What is up, champs and champ pets? We are back. We've got an advanced putting tip for you today that's going to have you putting like OHN SCOGGINS. Let's get into it. OHN's style of putt is working really well for me from about 25 to 35 feet. So let's start with the breakdown of OHN's style of putting and what's working for me and what I think could work for you. The first step with this style of putt, and really with any type of putt, is to have the disc just absolutely locked vertically on that pole. As far as grip goes, I'm actually holding it a little bit looser than I do with more of my spush putt. It's tough to show on camera, but yeah, I would say it's about 30 to 40% looser doing the OHN style of putt compared with my spush putt. The biggest difference with OHN style of putt and what I have done kind of mostly in the past has to do with how tight and how locked I'm keeping my elbow. In principle number 5 of the putt confidently approach, we advocated that you should keep it pretty locked. In sports science, they call that freezing degrees of freedom. And I think that's a fantastic tip if you are just a beginner or if you're doing more of a reset. And that's why I titled this video more of an advanced type tip or drill, is because we're going to be opening up the degrees of freedom on that elbow and loosening up how tense we're keeping that elbow. The thing that's really good about opening up this degree of freedom and loosening up the joints is you get more whip. And a little bit of extra whip slash spin slash speed comes in really handy when you're at the edge of the circle, maybe slightly into circle 2. Hey, drop a like if you do believe that OHN SCOGGINS is the queen of putting, and if you're stoked about giving this little idea a shot. So let me give some examples of what's working for me. Let's start with an example of the spush putt that I've done most of my disc golf career. And like we talked about in principle number 5, you're going to notice how my elbow really doesn't hinge at all during my putting stroke. Just stays right on line with a little, decent pop at the very end. Now I've got the PowerSync on, and what I'm going to do differently is relax the elbow a bit so the forearm is more loose and hanging rather than very constricted. In this new style of putting, more of a spin style of putting like OHN, it is helping me to keep the disc a bit higher, like more at my belly button area. But the main difference is that I am starting to lead with the elbow and really try and drive that elbow right at center chains. And with the PowerSync, what's great is that when you get the right whip, it clicks right at the basket. So I might have to put myself back on trial a little bit for the shake hands with the basket trial I did. I still don't think of this as shaking hands with the basket. I actually think more of it of jamming my elbow at the basket. So I don't know if those are in the same category. I'm not at an advanced level on this yet. I don't have a ton of whip going on. Here's a couple examples. Keep an eye out for that elbow difference. When it comes to straddle putting with this style, I still don't have it quite dialed in yet. I think it's because there's just a bit less room to work with, and the spush gives me some more action kind of down below. But I am working on it. There's just more room when you're stagger stance putting to get that whip compared with, in this stagger stance style. There's less room there. But I'm still working on it. I think it could be very effective. One other difference I found with the spush putt and OHN style of putting is the amount of pop that you put on the disc at the very end. It's tough to show on camera, but there's just a little bit at the very end compared with a spush putt. There's a lot more pop I feel like is needed. So give this a shot. The PowerSync really helped me dial this in. The Solo really helped me dial this in. I hope this video helps you start draining putts like the queen, Miss SCOGGINS herself. If you dug it, hit subscribe. We've got more putting stuff coming. We've got more throwing stuff coming. Until next time, stay throwing confidently, stay putting confidently. We'll catch you later.